Hey guys, I've got something really interesting for you. Software version 80.09.05 has been released for the iOS version of Sonos S2 app, and in this version of the release, it has full queue management. Yes, you've heard that right. Full queue management. Is it perfect? Not quite, but it is really a lot better than the previous iterations from the S2 app since they refreshed it. This is big. Now, I know I wanted queue management for a long time, but I didn't know how important it was to me. So I haven't been playing songs that much from the Sonos S2 app itself because the queue management really kind of sucked. Now, in fact, just 3 weeks ago, queue management was almost non-existent. Now, in the previous video that I did earlier in September this month, I told Sonos, right, you can just copy the Spotify queue management interface, and that is almost exactly what they did. So let's see what you can do now. You can get into the queue management on the now playing screen. You can reorder the songs just by dragging the songs around in the queue. This is huge. You can also now delete individual songs in the queue by just swiping to the left. You can also delete all the songs in the queue by clicking on the bin icon towards the top right. Now, what you cannot do right now, which Spotify still allows you to do, is to delete a couple of songs at once because there are no radio buttons on this implementation of the S2 app. Now, please note, there is a distinction to be made between playlist management and queue management. So these are two separate things. Queue management is whatever is going to be playing next on your Sonos speaker, right? Be it the soundbar or be it a speaker that you have for music. Now, for playlist management, it is something that you do when you're not listening to music. So if you have a playlist for relaxing, if you have a playlist for focused work, you have a playlist for just lounge music, these are managed and you can call upon these playlists to queue them into the queue system. So they are separate things. Now, so queue management for the Sonos S2 app is now up to scratch, but playlist management is not quite done yet. But Sonos, if you replicate what you have done for queue management in the playlist management, then it is all good. So right now, the workaround is to use the playlist management of the respective streamer app, be it Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you're using, and then you load the playlist from the S2 app. So this function is not currently on the Sonos S2 app, but it is due to come back on the Sonos S2 app anytime soon. Now, you may think that it's not possible to manage the playlist of a third-party streamer because of the API hooks from Sonos S2 app into Spotify or into Apple. Just take note that even on my local library, it is not there yet. You cannot edit the playlist easily when you are organizing the songs on your local library. So there are a few other things that actually Sonos did bake into the latest release of 80.09.05 for iOS. And the great thing is iOS 18 is now supported. So we don't have to wait for a couple of months in order to get iOS 18 supported. But please note, right, TruePlay on iOS 18 can be supported on iPhone 15 generation and before. To do the actual TruePlay, which is the iPhone 16 series, is actually not available yet. So I just got the iPhone 16 2 days ago. I tried it. TruePlay is not supported yet. iPhone 15, yes, but not the iPhone 16. So speech enhancement is also now available in the setup page on top of the toggle on the now playing page. They did that for the night mode, and I just didn't understand why there's a need to do that. Another change they did was to have the system interface for the S2 app have dark mode, light mode, all based on the system state. Quality of life change, not too much impact. So you spend a lot of time for the past half a year talking about Sonos software. I want to talk about hardware just a little bit. I've received a package from our friends at OREI. Now, OREI, if you're not familiar with them, think of them as the more affordable alternative to the HD Fury Arcana. So they have devices that switches HDMI ports, splits HDMI video to screen, and HDMI audio to soundbar or any sound system that you have. Now, even if the Sonos Arc 2 is just round the corner, The Sonos Arc that has been around for the last 4 years is still going to last a long time. I know people with the original Sonos Play Bar and are still using it after 10 years. And TV screens, they typically do last a long time. So if you have a TV that doesn't have an eARC port, how can you get full scale, full body HDMI audio into the Sonos Arc? And that is where eARC comes in, right? So if your TV supports eARC, it has a 37 megabits per second audio bandwidth for lossless Atmos, versus if you have a just regular vanilla ARC, it only supports up to 1 megabits per second, and for that you need Dolby Digital Plus, and it will deliver Atmos lossy. So if you are in a situation where your TV is a little bit older, but you have just bought a new, spanking new Sonos Arc, or even the Arc 2, which has full lossless HDMI Atmos audio, then you need something like this. I suspect that OREI now has the answer for you in the form of this BK929. It passes through a full HDMI 2.1 8K 60Hz or 4K at 120Hz, full 48 gigabits per second bandwidth. Now this is useful for low latency synchronization between the TV and the soundbar. And one thing it lets you do is to output from, say, a PC to a TV or monitor, and then to the soundbar simultaneously, as long as your PC has an output of HDMI. Now, if you do have a new screen that is actually capable of 4K 120 already, then most likely it will come with an eARC port. Then you don't need these devices, right? But if you have a monitor or a projector that doesn't have an eARC port, then this is where all these comes in useful. So I've been talking about two devices. So the BK929 is capable of 8K 60 or 4K 120 HDMI 2.1. There's a slightly cheaper alternative from OREI itself, and this is the HDA929, so not the BK929, HDA929. This is capable of HDMI 2.0, 18 gigabits per second, supporting up to 4K 60Hz, which is great for most streaming content that is available from Netflix or Disney Plus or Prime Video. And it comes with an extra port for HDMI audio out, so you can actually split the audio twice. So if you are looking for such devices, let me know and I will do a full review of these devices. I've got sent this. I haven't had the time to test this thoroughly, and I need to test them, and I typically have to spend quite a bit of time doing so. So really, before you go, let me know if such devices are still relevant today and whether you need them, and I can do a full review of these units. Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, I previously did a HDA935, also from OREI review, which works very, very well, and I know it was very popular for those of you who wanted additional ports to the soundbar and the screen, something which maybe the Arc 2 is going to implement, but we don't know that right now, right? So you can check out the video right here that I'm posting. Take a look at that. And let me know if you're going to be interested in these. I will talk about these and test them and give you a full review very soon. I'll see you in those videos.